Hi Year 4, Miss Fulford here, back with you for week 5 maths. We're going to leave time behind us now and we're going to start our new topic, which is money. Today we're going to do a bit of an investigation. So you can see our LO is I can solve a mathematical problem involving money. So we need to solve a problem, which means find an answer. But first we need to learn a little bit or remind ourselves a little bit about what we already know about our money. So just have a think. Have you heard of sterling before? What kind of coins and notes do we have in England? Just have a bit of a think. What do you know? Maybe you've got some coins or some notes around the house that you can go and look at to remind yourself of what we've got. So sterling is what we call our money, or it's a name that we use for our money, because the British coins used to be made out of sterling silver. So we still call our coins sterling. And we've got a few different types. Let's have a look at what we've got here. We've got some coins and some notes that you can see if you can recognize any of them. We've got a 1 pence coin and a 2 pence coin, and then we've got 5, 10, 20 and 50. So those are our smaller coins. And then we've got a £1 coin as well as a £2 coin. You might want to just have a second to remind yourself of the different shapes. You'll notice that some of them are similar to others and some are quite different. So you might notice that the 1 penny and the 2 pence, they're similar, almost the same, except the 2 pence is quite a bit bigger than the 1 penny. And the same with the 5 and the 10, the same coin, just that 10 pence is quite a bit bigger, and then again similar between the 20 and the 50, but the 50 is quite a bit bigger. Also similar to our £1 and our £2, very similar coins there. And then we've also got these 4 notes. So we've got the £5 note, the £10 note, the £20 note, and the £50 note. Just have a look and see what you notice, what you recognize. Maybe there's some things that are similar that you recognize. Just have a look. Okay, so our work today is all going to be about these coins. So we're going to get really familiar with those coins. But before we get started, we need to have a think about what we already know. So have a think, how many pence make a pound? How many pence make a pound? You might want to think about what we've been doing in decimals here. What do you think? Right. So, good. I'm sure you knew this. There was 100 pennies in £1. Have a look here. What do you recognize about this? That's right. It looks like a hundreds chart. So what we've been using for our decimals, our hundreds chart, that is split into 100 equal squares. And we've got a penny in every single one of them. So there's 100 of them, which makes 1 whole pound. Okay, so keeping that in mind, we know that there's 100 pennies in a pound. Can we work out how many 10p coins make a pound? How many 10p's might make a pound? Again, think about what you know. There's 100 pennies in a pound. So if I've got 10 pence piece, how many of those do I need to make 100 or to make a pound? Okay, well done to those people that got that one right. So we need 10 10p pieces to make £1. Again, if you have a look down at our hundreds chart, you can see, what does that look like? We've filled in a whole row of our hundreds chart. So if you've got one whole row of the hundreds chart, let's think back to our decimals. Hundreds row, 10 of them. It makes a tenth, doesn't it? Okay, so we've got 10 10p coins making up £1, which makes a tenth as well. Okay, so thinking about some other coins now. How many 20 pence pieces will make up £1? We know that 10 10 pence pieces make up £1. So how many would 20 pence pieces? How many would we need? Have a think. You might be able to do some maths knowing your 10 pence pieces makes £1. You might just already know this. How many coins would you be taking? Okay, so here we go. We've got our hundreds chart again, and this time it's been split into 20s. So 2 rows of 10, that makes 20. And how many have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 parts, so we've got 5 20 pence pieces, and that makes £1. So again, we've got 5 parts, and put them all together, that makes our whole £1. All right, we're getting there. We're going through quite a lot of them now. Having a think. So we know our 10s, we know our 20s. How many do we need? How many 50 pence pieces do we need to make £1? This one's hard. How many 50 pence pieces do we think we need to make £1 whole? Should we have a look? Okay, so we've got 2 50s, 2 parts with 50 in each of them. We put them together and that makes 100, or it makes £1. So keeping in mind that we need 100 pence to make £1. So 2 lots of 50, 2 pence, 2 50 pence coins. Okay. Knowing what you know already, what is the largest value of sterling coins that you can get? So the largest value of sterling coin. What do you think? It's the biggest amount of money you can get in a coin. Don't think I can trick you on this one. Well done if you got this one right. That's £2. So the biggest one you can get is a £2 coin. If you want any more than that, you need more than 1 coin, or you need a note. All right, so then what is the largest value of note that you can get? Think back to that first slide. What's the biggest note that you can get in the UK? Well done, so it's a £50 note. So again, if you want more than £50, you need more than 1 note, or more than 1 note and coin. Brilliant. Okay, so let's start thinking about this as how we would write down our money. What do you notice here? I want you to just have a look at what you can see. You've got £1.50 on the left written down as you would write your money, and then we've also got 200s charts. Just want you to take a moment to look. What do you notice? What do you wonder? You might want to jot down some thoughts. What do you see here? What does this remind you of? So if we have a look now at this sentence at the bottom, the pound can be seen as a whole. If we have a look here, we've got a hundreds chart. It's all filled in. So all 100 are filled in. The whole thing has been filled in. So the pound can be seen as a whole. 10 pence would be a 1/10, and 1 pence would be £1. hundredth. Okay, so we've got 1/10 and 100th there. So noticing what we know already about writing decimals. So we're using the decimal point again to separate the whole with the parts of the whole. So we've got 5/10ths or 50/100ths, which makes 50 pence. All right, so it's really similar to the decimals that we've been doing, using the same knowledge from before. So today, your challenge is to investigate money. We want you to try and use as many of the marvelous mathematician characteristics as you can. So using vocabulary, asking questions, explaining what you're doing, using some resources. I know you're not at school with our resources, but that doesn't mean you can't use things that you find around your house. See if there's anything that you can find to help you. Trying different ways of doing things, recording your results, looking for patterns, knowing the depth, that depth is more important than a speed. So really take your time with this, see what you can find. It's not a question of how fast can you find out your answers. Just take your time to see if you can find all of the answers. And don't forget the most important, that believing that everyone can be good at maths. Okay, so we can all work this out and just see how many of these that you can use today. Perhaps at the end of the session, you want to come back to this slide and you can check off how many of them you have completed. Your rules for this investigation are the same as always whenever we're doing investigations at school. You can use anything that you find around you. So at school, we would probably be using the coins, we'd be using some deans, maybe we'd be using the place value counters, 100 square, something like that. I know you might not have these things, but you can use anything that you have that you can use. You might want some Lego, you might use some marbles, something like that that can help you, anything that will be useful. And then you need to record your process. Now you can do some drawings, you can write it down, however you like, just as long as you do record what you're actually doing. That way you know when you've already found an answer, so you don't do the same thing twice by accident. And it also just shows how you, what your process has been. Okay, so what is the actual investigation? So your investigation today is how many ways can you make £1 using only silver coins? I know we've done some earlier, which is a good place to start, but this time you can use any arrangement of coins. So you can use some 10s, some 5s, you might want to use all 20s and 5s, you might want to use a bit of all of them, whatever you like. But you need to find as many different ways of making £1 as you can. And there are lots of answers, okay? So as many different ways as possible. First, I want you to just have a go, spend the first sort of 15 minutes, just 10-15 minutes trying, have a go, see what you come up with, and then come back and just stop and have a think. You might want to talk to somebody at home about what you've done. You might want to just stop and think about what processes you have made. Okay, so what have you started with? How have you worked? Are you working systematically to make sure that you're not doing the same thing twice? Just to see what it is that you've done. I'm going to leave an image of the coins on the website for you, so you can come back to that. And let's see how many different ways we can make £1. Enjoy investigating. I'll speak to you tomorrow.